In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends and products creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss a local government attempt to profit off selling marriage certificate packages. In China, the 4th of January this year was a very big day for weddings. It takes a little bit of Chinese language ability and a lot of mental creativity to figure it out, but the occasion was special because of the pronunciation of the date. The pronunciation of 2013 1-4 is 2013-14, which apparently to Chinese people sounds very similar to 爱你一生一世, translated as love you for a lifetime. Dubious as the origins of the tradition may be, the date saw a major marriage boom in Chinese cities. Beijing had 12,000 couples registering for marriage, Shanghai had 7,300, and the central Chinese city of Wuhan set a personal record with 3,500 couples tying the knot. But for quite a few couples, the happy day was marred by the feeling that they'd just been scammed out of a small chunk of money. The conversation got started when one netizen from Chongqing posted a message on a microblogging site, Weibo, containing information about the city's marriage registration packages. A receipt from the local marriage office listed several package deals that include the required wedding photo and then various extras. The cheapest package listed cost 108 yuan, around $17, and included 2 marriage certificates and 2 commemorative albums. Nearly triple that price was a 288 yuan package deal, including a few other marriage goodies. Outrage at the prices stemmed from the fact that national regulations mandate that offices charge no more than 9 yuan, about $1.50. That includes the total cost of marriage certificates and photos. With the cheapest options listed more than 12 times that price, netizens were angry and they let the local government know. With a small media uproar building, the county government in charge of the targeted registration center came out to explain itself. State-run Xinhua News reports that all products and services beyond the 9 yuan fee were strictly optional and were offered by an independent company authorized to provide marriage-related services. That explanation has been met with more than a little ridicule, given that the cheapest price listed was an expensive package deal. That means that newlyweds would have to know about the 9 yuan option themselves and ask for it specifically to get it. That might be especially challenging for a groom who desperately wants to avoid looking cheap in front of his soon-to-be wife. This was not the first time that marriage registration offices have been exposed to scrutiny for price practices. Chinese media regularly expose the imposition of arbitrary marriage fees in smaller cities and in the countryside. Offices frequently provide package deals full of wedding souvenirs or charge extra for routine services like photocopies and required photographs. Some offices have been known to add on a 30 yuan charge for a basic photograph, which could be purchased outside for 1/5 of that cost. The Qilu Evening News reported on one Shandong office where completely unnecessary medical checkups were pushed on couples as, quote, one of the registration formalities. Most common among complaints is that marriage offices intentionally muddle what is a mandatory charge and what is optional. They do this by only listing the package deals on forms while leaving off the cheapest and simplest choice. The practice has been linked to a new term, 被消费, translated as to be consumed or to be forced into buying things. The scams have led many Chinese to investigate the relationship between marriage registration offices and the private companies that offer these allegedly optional services. Although the registries have maintained that the services are entirely independent, media reports have revealed that the public and private services often share workspaces and occasionally staff members. Most newlyweds are only given the chance to know who they are actually paying for those additional services after they're handed the receipt. Many netizens have lashed out at the marriage offices for taking advantage of people on their happy day. Poster Icy Chinge wrote, services like making copies of ID cards or printing forms should be provided for free by the office, but the painful truth is that people are getting charged outrageous amounts of money for this. Couples naturally don't want to argue with these greedy people, so they just have to silently deal with it. It's really a tragedy. Other netizens sarcastically lashed out at the local officials. One wrote, what a loss that the director of this Civil Affairs Bureau hasn't gone into business. Poster Yang Jianfei wrote about the compulsory nature of the allegedly optional charges. Quote, the scandal in Chongqing is by no means an isolated incident. Overcharging on registration is a kind of opportunistic looting that takes advantage of people when you should be congratulating them. Registration offices respond to media pressure by stressing that the packages are optional. But who would dare say no when they're frightened by dealing with people who determine whether a couple is eligible for marriage? Finally, a commenter named Terrace Wu wrote, some departments use the power bestowed by citizens as a way to earn extra income, while ordinary people have to go the extra mile and spend the extra money to get things done. These innovative kinds of arbitrary charges are imposed under various pretexts. They can claim it's the work of the marriage service companies and it's people's own choice, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. The January 4th wedding boom has passed, but there are plenty more auspicious dates in the calendar, and thus plenty more chances for newlyweds and marriage registries to face off over extra charges.